Morning everyone, and welcome to my first video in a series of meal prepping. Today we're making my pre-workout meal, which is basically just a variation of the cream of rice, which is so popular among bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts. So let's go to the ingredients. So we have some standard ingredients that you would expect. The cream of rice, which I make from scratch. I just ground up some long grain rice and put it in a container and store it. It's a lot cheaper. And you have any sort of liquid egg. I got this from Walmart, but you can get it from anywhere. Aldi, you can get it from any major grocery store. You can also just use regular eggs or egg whites, although I think it's more of a pain in the ass, and it also is time consuming and more expensive in my opinion. So yeah, that's all you need. So let's get with the process of making this delicious pre-workout meal. All right, so what we have to do first is get our scale set up as usual, zero it out, pull out our cream of rice, and a little pro tip. If you're out there taking protein powder, never throw your scoops away. They're invaluable, especially if you make a lot of your own foods or ground them up or just want to disperse things easily, especially on a scale. It's easier when you have a little scoop. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put in, what I generally do is 1.5 servings, which comes out to about 67 grams. I weigh everything in grams. It's just easier, and it's what's on the majority of the nutritional labels nowadays. So that is what I do. So very easy. I get very heavy-handed at times. 68, we'll call that 67. Now, if you're in a cutting phase, or you're trying to get stage lean, you might be a little anal like I usually am, but right now we're sort of in a maintenance phase. So once you put your cream of rice in, you want to zero the scale out once again. Make sure you shake up your egg whites really well. And each serving is about 46 grams. So I calculated 5 servings to be about 272, I believe. So we'll get as close to that as possible, 270 mil. This will go over quickly. It's very easy to over pour liquid egg whites. I'm sorry, 5 servings is actually 230. I was thinking of 6 servings, so which I like to use with my French toast. All right, once you have that, we're gonna go ahead and stick this in, I'm sorry, you wanna add some water. I don't like a lot of water. I like to add my water post heating the meal. That way I can add it, because I'd much rather it be too thick than too thin. I also like to stir it before I could put it in the microwave, because if you don't stir it, it will kind of sit at the very bottom and become a very thick, like brick type substance. It's not very fun to eat unless you like chewing a lot extra. But we're more about efficiency nowadays. So once that's done, we're gonna put that in the microwave for about 4 to 5 minutes and stir every 60 seconds after the first couple of minutes. All right, so we have our cream of rice all done out the microwave. We're gonna put it back on. There's absolutely no jiggle. Generally you'll get some jiggle, but that's just a sign that I really didn't put enough water, which is perfect for me. And that's just my, that's the way I like it. That way I can always add a little water later if I do want to. But yeah, no, this is beautiful. So if you look here, you got your egg white solidified, you have your cream of rice, you have a little bit of water in there. And then the last step is, we get our trusty almond butter here. What I usually do is about 12 ounces, which is a little more than 1/3 of a serving, because I'm on sort of a low-fat diet right now. I was eating a lot more of this during the bulking season, but now I am tapering it back, which is kind of difficult because this stuff is so delicious to me, and it's so easy to overconsume. You have to be very careful. All right, we'll call that 12. And all we need to do is mix it up. It's nice and hot still, so it will blend, or it will melt nicely throughout the entire meal. You'll taste it in just about every bite. Or you can just eat it, you know, off the spoon without even adding it in here. It's just, as long as you eat it around the same time. See, the reason we want to put these fats in there as well as the protein and the carbs together is we want a nice glycemic load. And then, you know, the simple way of putting glycemic load, if you don't really know what that means, is if we just eat a bunch of carbs, we're going to generally spike our insulin, which means we're going to get a bunch of energy. We're going to run around just like kids eating a bunch of sugar or candy, and then we're going to crash. And then, you know, it's good while you're running around, but it also spikes your insulin. It inhibits fat loss. So what you do is you combine all your macros together, your carbs, your proteins, and your fats, and it kind of slows down the whole process to where the food is digested and gets through your body and doesn't spike your insulin level as much, because fats will lower that or slow down the process somewhat. So depending on how much fats, you want an adequate amount just to make sure that it's, you know, effective. And then one last thing that I did forget to mention when we were going over the ingredients is any sort of artificial sweetener. I use the Splenda type or the Splenda knockoff generic brand. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's all aspartame anyway. And then mix that up. Generally, I like a sweet in the morning. I'll save the chicken and the beef and the fish to the evenings, where it's kind of more appropriate, at least for us older folks. And once that's done, I stick it in the refrigerator and let it cool down and enjoy my pre-workout meal. All right, guys, so just to wrap up this video, I wanted to give you guys the macros and the total calories. So for this meal, my pre-workout cream of rice has 30 grams of protein, 56 grams of carbs, and 7 grams of fat, which gives you a total calorie intake of 407 calories. Now, you can always decrease or increase depending on your hunger or your your needs as far as energy, as far as whether you're bulking or shredding or just trying to maintain. So this is it's very fast and loose here in this kitchen or in any kitchen for these meals. There's no set 100% ironclad way of how to do these meals. You just do what works best for you, what gives you the most energy, what keeps you in your weight goals, your fat loss goals, and yeah. So I highly recommend this meal if you want a good jolt of energy, sustainability in your workouts, and just overall better health. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it and you want to see more on this series, please like and subscribe, and just remember, don't forget to love yourself.